Hey everyone, the article I have for you guys today to summarize for you is Naturalistic Instructional Approaches in Early Learning, a Systematic Review. This was written by Patricia Snyder, Sarah Rakop, Susan Sandel, Mary Hemmeter, Tara McLaughlin, and Mary McLean. This was published in 2015 in the Journal of Early Intervention. So what is a naturalistic instructional approach? It actually supports child participation in learning in inclusive settings in the general education classroom inclusive setting, and supports children's access and participation in preschool rooms while still giving them one-on-one support and instruction. So two main ideas in that definition. It's inclusive, so in the general education classroom is what we're talking about, and we're talking about early learning, so we're focusing on the preschool. The main idea of naturalistic instructional approaches, I would say, is embedding instruction into daily activities. Instructing and teaching students while they're already in activities that they would participate on the normal basis. Naturalistic instructional approaches are in their natural environment, which makes sense, right? So why did they perform this research? The authors stated that a need exists to conduct a descriptive systematic review of literature on naturalistic instructional approaches. So they're not working with subjects and children actually in this research. They're working with research articles already performed and evaluating them and taking the data and the research from those and compiling them all together. So the procedure and the method that they went about this is first they had to find articles. They first looked on EBSCOhost, which we're all familiar with. They then went on to went to libraries, researched, talked to people, found more articles. To figure out if an article was suited for their research, they had 4 different criteria to label it a naturalistic approach research article. So the 4 criteria is first, it has to occur in a typical instruction. The activities, routines, and experiences of a child. The instruction is occurring in something the child is already doing. It has to be in a naturalistic instructional approach. That's just a must. The second one they did is the instruction being taught is learning targets and needs for the goals. They're not trying to teach a child something that they're not going to need. They're teaching children one of their objectives or goals in this naturalistic instructional approach. The third, it had the instruction actually had to be initiated by the child, or so the child had to initiate the instruction and the need to want to learn. And the fourth criteria is the adults working with these children in a naturalistic instructional approach are not strangers. They're actually adults that were working with the children or know the children. It's not just they brought a child in and wanted them to do something. This is literally in their natural environment. So they're working with adults that the children are used to. So those are the 4 criteria. They needed the articles to reach every single one. They found 37 articles that fit into their categories from the years 1981 to 2013. Of those 37 articles, they found 43 studies to look after and work on. So that's the ones that they figured out fit their criteria of a naturalistic instructional approach. And once they found the articles, looked at the research, and figured out what exactly the research data was showing them, is actually the results came pretty positive. That naturalistic instructional approaches resulted in acquisition of the targeted skill for almost all of the studies. Of those 47 studies, they found that almost all of them, the children reached the targeted skill. They found the worst percentage was that 70%. In one of the studies, only 70% of the students hit the target. But to me personally, 70% is still pretty high and a pretty positive percentage for students to hit. So personally in my classroom, what I take from this article is naturalistic instructional approaches work. The proof is in the research, literally right here. They collected data from all of these different researches and put them all together for the teacher, saying that naturalistic instructional approaches work. A personally as a teacher, I know now that teaching a student in their natural environment and embedding the instruction into activities and games and anything that a child does throughout the day anyway is most beneficial to the student. Thank you.